Gotta read the air.
Read the air. Now you can do it.
No, I still struggle, but
I think the type of communication.
Communication.
If I don't smile like that, people gonna think, oh, she's might be in not good mood. So
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. This is Yo-Yo Japan. So today, I'm asking foreign residents about their struggles and challenges they face in Japan. I think it might be difficult to live in Japan as a foreigner because of the culture differences. So let's find out. On my Instagram, I'm sharing my life and information about Japan. If you follow me there, you'll be able to discover some nice places, pubs, and birds. So if you haven't yet, please do. Okay, let's go.
Can I ask you where from?
from New York City.
Yeah.
So my name is Mike. I'm from Uptown, Washington Heights, New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long have you been here?
12 years.
12 years. Okay, such a long time. Yeah.
long.
What's it like living in Japan as a foreigner?
I'm older,
Yeah.
and before I came to Japan, the internet wasn't what it is now, right? So 12 years ago,
12 years ago, yeah.
you know, at the time, YouTube was kind of just starting, right?
Yeah.
So like I didn't really have an image, just like what I saw in the magazines. Living as a foreigner, like my parents are immigrants from Dominican Republic, and the change for them from Dominican Republic to America was big.
Yeah.
For me, coming to Japan, it wasn't that big of a change, I would say.
Not a big change.
Not big change. I mean, Japan is super convenient. It's so convenient in Japan that it kind of makes you handicapped. Because once you leave Japan, you're like, oh, it's so much easier in Japan. Like,
So what's the most difficult thing that you've got used to regarding our culture?
depending on the situation.
Sure.
In America, depending on the situation, no does not mean no.
No does not mean no.
Yeah. So, for example, like if I go to a place and I want something, someone will say no, or figure out a way for me to say yes. Okay. So here's like a kind of a dumb example, but it's a good example. In Japan, you go to a restaurant, they only serve 50 dishes of ramen that day. There's no more. Only 50. In America, you'd be like, why?
Okay.
Nope.
I
Yeah, but
understand.
if I pay
Okay,
more
okay.
money, nope. But if I no, 50 dishes, I'm done.
Like we have to, follow the rule more strictly than,
That's what
in
I'm
the
saying.
US.
No is
Okay.
no. Now it's like when people say "dame," okay. Before I was like, why? Why? What? No.
What's something that you think you can only learn about Japan by living here?
Kukiyomu.
Kukiyomu.
You
Okay.
gotta read the air.
Read the air. Now you can do it.
No, I still struggle, but it's better than when I first came. It's much better than when I first came.
Are there any, specific situations where you try to read the air just in Japan?
For those of you watching, there's certain things that you have to be respectful in Japan.
Yeah.
And there was an example that I read. It was like I read this book, and the example says like you would say like, "Oh, hanami kirei," right? The cherry blossoms are beautiful, right?
Yeah.
And everybody would say, "Ah, kirei, kirei,
Yeah.
kirei." And the author is a Japanese author. She says you might be thinking, "Oh, next week is it still beautiful?" Or "Oh, they're gonna fall." Everybody has a different opinion about the beautifulness of the cherry blossom,
Yeah.
but nobody will say it because this is what the book says. They don't want to interrupt the mood of that. But me, I'll be like, "Nah, it's not gonna last long." I'll say something differently than what everybody else
Okay.
says, right?
So what if
But
they
now,
say,
I
now,
don't say
okay.
it.
No, you don't say it?
No,
Just
no.
nothing.
I just be like, "Oh, so this and that."
Which means you agree with them.
Because I noticed that when I went against it, you would see people, they felt uncomfortable, like they would tense up or something, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I can't be honest all the time."
So you read the air in Japan.
I would say I try to.
Try to. So lastly, I want to ask you, do you have some advice for people who want to live in Japan?
Yeah, learn Japanese.
Learn Japanese, okay.
Learn Japanese and then learn as much as the culture as you can. And remember, I think new people who come to Japan, and me included, I was like, I'm going to come and I'm going to make this big change and try to affect everybody. And it was like, no, it caused more problems than,
Like when people try to change Japan, you mean?
yeah, or Japanese people.
Yeah.
I think that's like a very
Nobody
American.
can change, others or, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Can I ask you where from?
Italy.
Italy. How long have you been here?
1 year and a half.
1 year and a half. So what do you do here?
I'm working for a Japanese company.
How long have you been working there?
6 months.
6 months. Oh. So are there any foreign people working there in your company?
No, I'm the only foreigner.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So I think it's kind of difficult for foreigners to look for a job in Japan, right?
Yes, I think it's very difficult actually.
So how did you find the job?
In my case, it was the friend of a friend who recommended me
Yeah.
because they knew me and they were looking for somebody who could speak English, so word of mouth.
what's it like living in Japan as a foreigner?
By now, I would say it's been a very positive experience,
Yeah.
and I really enjoy it. I come from a very different culture, so of course, it's a big difference
Yeah.
from the Italian lifestyle, but I would say that I really enjoy it and I like it.
So, what was the biggest culture shock that you ever experienced in Japan?
I think it's the drinking culture.
Drinking culture.
Yes.
What is it like?
Well, first of all, before I came here, I never heard of the word aruhara.
Aruhara. Some people force others to drink. You mean?
You have this like nomikais and your boss forces you to drink. This is something that was really new to me. I know that it's not everywhere.
Okay. Yeah, it's
But
not every.
The
yeah.
fact that it exists was very surprising for me.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, even just seeing around the city people who are super, super drunk laying on the street, that was very surprising to me.
What is the most difficult thing that you've had to get used to regarding our culture?
I think the type of communication,
Communication.
because I would say in Italy we are more direct. Like we show what we feel, even too much, of course, sometimes. Whether it is with words or facial expressions or gestures, I think you can really tell most of the times what somebody is thinking, what's on their mind. In Japan, I'm not a pro yet, but I think I had to get used to reading the air more, like trying to put myself in the shoes of somebody else and think more what they are thinking, because people don't make it that obvious. So it's a different type of communication, and sometimes it can lead to misunderstandings for me. So this is something I had to adapt to.
Do you have some advice for people who want to live in Japan?
Yes, I would say don't idealize Japan. It's a great country from my point of view. I love it, but it's also hard when you get here. Like, unless you just go to a Japanese school and then you go back to your country, if you want to find a job, pay taxes, pay the health insurance, deal with the bureaucracy, that is all in Japanese. Like, every letter I receive is only Japanese.
Okay.
So every week I have to open the letters and I'm like, no. So that is hard to find a job, to do all the interviews, to get the visa. That is hard. So if you really want to move to Japan and live in Japan, understand that there is the great food and culture and everything, but there is also this part to keep it real.
Oh, that's a
You're
good
not
mindset.
living in an anime. Be realistic.
Okay, that's a good mindset. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your time. Where from?
I'm from India.
India.
Yes.
How long have you been here?
It's been almost like a year.
A year and a half.
Yes.
Oh, so I want to ask you, what's it like living in Japan as a foreigner?
I mean, like, I'm here as a student.
Yeah.
It depends what you like come here for. But as a student, it's pretty cool, chill, and I'm learning a lot of stuff about Japan and about myself too.
So, what is the most difficult thing that you've had to get used to regarding our culture?
As you can see, and everybody could tell that my face is a little bit, I mean, in Japanese, they're gonna say kawaii, like a little bit scary face. Like, if I don't smile like that, people are gonna think, oh, she's might be in not good mood. So, like, when I was new here, I was like, make conversation with Japanese people, but they were like, oh my god, is she like angry or something? So I just have to keep like going with smiley face. It was like at first it was a little bit hard.
You're trying to smile.
Yeah, I try to smile, but now I got used to that. So like I'm always smiling. Even if
That's
it's like-
nice. Yeah. What's something that you think you can only learn about Japan by living here?
I'm not gonna lie, I learned that from Japanese guys. They keep going. They don't wait for the result if it's going to be like good, bad, whatever. But they just keep going and don't give up. That's I learned from my teacher, people around my in my school. They always tell me, and even sometimes Japanese people don't say it. They just keep on express that. So I think you just don't give up and keep going. Don't wait for the result. If it's good or bad, just keep going.
Thanks for watching up until now. How's it? Have any of you watching this video lived in Japan? If so, share some experiences in the comments. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to like this video. Okay, see you next time.